Yo, what's going on guys? EN77 here. In today's video, we're going to be playing Hog EQ Firecracker. Alright, jumping in the first match, we're up against this guy. So we do have Hog in our starting hand, so just going to go with it here. Not really too worried about doing that play, unless I know they have like Sparky or some heavy punish deck. And he's going to have Zappies, but he played them down a little bit late, so we're still going to get a good chip. Alright, he's gonna split Royal Hogs. We didn't have Tesla in cycle though. And EQ plus log does kill the Zappy, so the interaction worked out pretty well for us here. He is gonna have Bar Barrel, so this flying machine might get a few hits on my tower. Not really. It is gonna get some good chip, but I'm not really too worried about it because it is opposite lane of where I'm going, so it won't be quite as good for him. I'm gonna log this as well, just that the Goblin Brawler moves to the side a bit, and the Hog actually does score an extra hit because of that. And actually the Firecracker version of Hog is actually a lot better than the Queen version against recruits, so I think it is still quite strong in this meta. The only reason I don't like Hog Firecracker as much is because when the opponent has Queen, they have a pretty good advantage over you if it's like a Hog mirror matchup. Alright. So he's gonna recruit, so we're just gonna get a Firecracker down as early as possible, because he might like Fireball it or kill it somehow, but we can just cycle back to another one if we use it really early. And he's gonna try to snipe it with a Flying Machine, but we're gonna protect it with our Valkyrie. And he will get Hogs of their lane, but the Firecracker just doing such a great job here, blocking up both lanes, kind of, or just defending pretty well. The Flying Machine will again get a bit of chip damage, but we kind of just took in that damage just so that we can get more damage on the offensive end here. We're gonna Hog here. He's probably gonna cage, so he'll get down a Firecracker as well. He is gonna Goblin cage, and our log is gonna have a bit of a delay for some reason, so we weren't able to quite protect the Firecracker there. But we did outcycle his cage, so we're gonna Hog here. And that was actually perfect timing. We did it right as he went in with the Zappies. Alright, so he kind of just ate that whole Hog, so he's probably going to recruits here or something. I guess he's going to Hoggies instead. Maybe he didn't have enough Elixir for recruits. He's going to get a solid Fireball, but I don't really think that's going to do too much for him anyways. Just got to defend this Flying Machine, and that should be pretty much it, yeah. Pretty good win here. You can kind of see that if you just stack those Firecrackers, you can kind of easily outcycle their Goblin cage, but just make sure to not be like too aggressive with your Hogs here. You have to be like a bit calculated with your aggression so that you can outcycle their cages while not getting like punished too much by the cage brawler. GG. Alright, hopping into the next match, we're up against this guy. And yeah, it is still kind of early season, so I'm not sure what any of these people are using. Gonna Hog first play again though. And he will have a Dark Prince for that, plus Snowball. This is most likely either gonna be Log Bait or like could be Graveyard. We are gonna actually get a Hog hit over there. He was a bit delayed on his Dark Prince, so we were able to just barely get that hit. And we're gonna Skeletons in front of the Valkyrie, so it will get like a couple extra hits on the tower, but he is gonna Giant, so it's just gonna do a bit more damage to the Giant than it would have normally done. And we don't want to Hog here, we're just gonna be a bit passive, because if we went in with the Hog there, it could be kind of hard for us to defend against this Graveyard, so we're just gonna prioritize defense. We don't have the best defense against him, because he does have like arrows for our Firecracker, and he also has pretty good Hog responses on the offensive end, but so that's why I kind of think that we should just like prioritize defense first, so then once we get like a solid defense, then we can Hog. Or if he just doesn't have the best cycle to defend a Hog Rider. And perfect Ice Spirit there, just gonna finish off everything pretty nicely. And yeah, really pay attention to the playstyle I use in this matchup, because I know a lot of you guys were asking about this specific matchup. You kind of just don't want to be too aggressive, but I did send in a Hog Rider there because I know he didn't have a good cycle to defend it, so we're actually going to get a ton of damage. Now it's just going to be a matter of whether we can defend his counter push or not. I'm not too worried about it though, because I know he's not going to have enough time to get minions down, so Just that queen alone behind the giant, it's actually going to get kind of shredded by the Valkyrie, so yeah. He will get one queen hit, but pretty good defense nonetheless. This is a pretty good spot for us. Now we're just going to be stacking up firecrackers. If he arrows our first, and we'll just get another one down. And we just went with Hog right there because I knew he'd play some card at that exact time, so he did have a bit of a delayed reaction on the Hog, and instead of getting only one Hog hit, we actually got two, just because of that. It is often a very good play to like Hog right as you expect them to play some card, whether that be like something in the back or like a spell or whatever it may be. We're going to set up with a Tesla here. He's probably going to start stacking queens, and I don't know if that was like a misplaced graveyard or if he's just giving up at this point, but it is pretty close to over. I think he meant to use like arrows or something there, or like or some spell, but he accidentally wasted the graveyard. I don't think it would have really mattered though, and we are going to predict his Skarmy right there, so that's going to be GG. Pretty nice win here. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're up against this guy. And we are getting really lucky with our starting hands to always have Hog first play. He's gonna spear goblins right into that, so... And bats. This is probably either mortar or like some other spammy deck. Okay, he's gonna have minor wall breakers. We're gonna get a pretty nice Tesla here to pull a couple of the bats and also tank for the wall breakers. So this matchup is usually pretty decent if they have Bomb Tower, but if they do have Tesla, then it becomes quite a bit harder because they can just always defend your Hogs even if you combo it with an EQ, because they can just Tesla out of the EQ range. So he's gonna Valkyrie here. Just gonna Hog Ear off to the side to kind of pull the Valkyrie back a little bit, get our tower to get a bit more shots on it before it comes too close. Yeah, pretty good defense. We did get one Hog hit early on, so we're off to a pretty nice start here. He does have Tesla though, so could be a bit harder. And this matchup honestly isn't too bad. It's just like the bats that kind of are the most annoying part. Sometimes if you have like the perfect timing, you can get your Ice Spirit to fully kill the bats, but it's a little bit... It's like a little bit random. It doesn't always work, so it's not the most reliable thing in the world. And his Tesla does just barely pull our Hog Rider, so I need to have to spend a Valkyrie though, so we're just gonna get a Firecracker off here, get a little bit of chip, force out some early bats as well so we can't get a miner down in time. Yeah, looking pretty good for us here. Firecracker is pretty helpful in this matchup as well, because you can only really like fireball it down when it's on our side, but if we play our Firecrackers high, then he won't be able to really do too much. And he's actually gonna go in here, but I know he doesn't have Tesla right away, and he doesn't even have enough elixir for it anyways. So we're just gonna eat all that damage. We're actually gonna get so much damage with our Hog Rider. Yeah, that was a really heads up play by us. That's gonna put us firmly in the lead, and he's even gonna waste his Tesla on top of that. Yeah, sometimes you just have to be aware of when you can really punish your opponent really well with just like a Hog Valkyrie. Just like that. We're just gonna chill a bit here because he does have the Tesla up, so we can't really hog. Just gonna take an EQ on his tower. And yeah, not really worried about any card in his deck. Just the bats pretty much. And he's gonna Fireball, so we're just gonna kite back his Valkyrie with a Hog. Sometimes when you have like an interesting cycle, it can be a pretty good idea to just kite something with a Hog, like a Valkyrie or a Bandit or a Dark Prince or something of that sort. I'm gonna Hog here to tank like a couple Spear Goblin shots, but also put on some pressure. And he is gonna Valkyrie, but he's gonna get a bit of a late log down. He didn't have enough elixir for it right away, so we are gonna get one Hog hit. And we defended his bats pretty well this match, so that's why it's really going so well for us. And just that one good play by us, and yeah, that's gonna be GG. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're up against Crouch here. Oh, this is actually the guy that Gems got his Expo deck from in the video we did a couple days ago. Yeah, so I know he's playing Expo, so he's gonna Tesla up in the middle. We're just gonna EQ it, even though I know he has Expo, because I know we can just defend his Expos pretty easily with like a Valkyrie Tesla or something. And yeah, now he doesn't have a Tesla in cycle for our hog, so unless he like logs that or something, we're gonna get a hit. Yeah. He's gonna Expo as well, but I'm not too worried. I know that we have a really fast cycle, so we're already about to get back to another EQ, so that basically just gave us some free chip damage on his tower. And he's already gonna call the early GG. It is a pretty good matchup for us, and I think Ice Wizard, him having Ice Wizard just makes it even better for us. We're just gonna play patiently though. Never want to get too ahead of yourself when you're against Expo. And we're actually gonna hog here first and then Ice Spirit just so that we get back to our Hog Rider one card quicker than we normally would have. Yeah, this is what I love about Firecracker, that you can't always do with Queen. You can always get that nice chip damage. Luckily for him, he did predict it this time, but we still forced out a good amount of elixir from him. Because the Firecracker does get like a really deceptive amount of chip damage sometimes on the tower if there's like a unit lined up in front of it. And he actually isn't going to have Tesla in time, so he's just going to use a Valkyrie then. We're going to get that Firecracker chip in. Wow, that was actually quite a bit of damage, just like 250 from the Firecracker alone. We're just gonna log here on defense. Don't want to really take a Valkyrie hit, that would be a bit much. And he is gonna Expo, but he just wasted his Valkyrie, so I know he can't really defend it too well. We're just gonna EQ it as well, just to be safe, because he did spend a lot defending it, so yeah. And you don't even want to take those little chip shots, so we defended pretty well there. I'm gonna hog here, just predicting his Expo. I'm gonna get an EQ down as well. If you have the ideal cycle when they Expo, it's usually the best play is just to go with a Hog Rider plus Earthquake, because they can't really do anything about it. And wow, the guy missed the Fireball. This man's having a really bad day. I'm sure B-Rad would be loving this video. We're just gonna go in with a hog here, using our Firecracker that just barely survived. Looks like he's just gonna give up here. This is what you guys can do to the most hated Expo players if you use this deck. Pretty easy win as well. GG. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're up against Mateja here. I know this guy likes to play Mega Knight a lot, and sometimes Goblin Drill decks. Okay, he's gonna have Wall Breakers plus Tesla, so it probably means Goblin Drill here. This is actually a pretty interesting matchup. I would say it's definitely a little bit in our favor, but sometimes the Goblin Drill plus Fireball combos can be really annoying when you have like an awkward cycle. We're just gonna make sure to take care of his Bomber here with the Ice Spirit Firecracker. And yeah, the one annoying part of this matchup is the fact that Goblin Drill works based off of like True Red and True Blue, so when he plays his Goblin Drill in the left lane, it's always going to get one chip shot against like a Valkyrie that we end up playing, but whenever he plays it in the right lane, it's actually never going to get a chip shot if we get our Valkyrie down in time. So we're actually already in a pretty good lead right here just from that one hog hit. Yeah, because he does have guards here over skeletons, so we can actually outcycle him here quite easily actually, so that's definitely going to help us out a bit. You can see these people that I'm facing are really struggling against the Firecracker. They're being forced to Fireball a lone Firecracker, not even next to the tower. And we're going to utilize the Hog Rider here to kite the Valkyrie just so we didn't have to spend anything else. And it's actually going to get one really nice hit. The guards were just not quite able to stop it. And we're going to split our Skellies like that to defend the Bomber pretty nicely. Okay, he's going to drill like that, so we are going to have to Tesla his Wall Breakers, but we are going to get a counter-pushing Valkyrie, so not really too great for him either. And you do have a couple options to defend the Goblin Drill. You can either just like Skeletons plus log it away, or you can just Valkyrie. And sometimes it can be worth it to just Prediction Valkyrie on his Drill, just so that it'll never have a chance of getting any Goblin stabs, but you just have to be careful if they're switching up their placements a lot, that you you don't end up missing the prediction on whatever placement he decides to use. We're just gonna log EQ here just in case he went with guards. We did log a little bit early, so we didn't kill the guards, but still pretty fine for us. His Goblin is gonna get a couple incidental stabs, but we're still in a pretty firm lead. And we're actually gonna clip his Tesla there with the EQ, so that's also really good for us. And he did have to overspend with the Valkyrie, so we're gonna firecracker here, but he is gonna predict it. Alright, so we're gonna hog here. He didn't have guards right away, so we did have to fireball, which is also really nice. And even though we got like no hog hits, we still got a few hundred damage just off of that firecracker. And we're gonna Ice Spirit here just to stall the wall breakers so the firecracker can actually hit them. And then we're just going with the Valkyrie Hog Rider because I know he had to low Tesla, so we're just gonna EQ that easily. And Hog is actually just gonna get a ton of damage, so just need an Earthquake at this point. Alright. GG. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.